Thanks, gentlemen, for taking the time to hear the White Rock story. I know I'm almost standing between you and lunch, so I will be brief and hopefully to the point. You can find this presentation on our website. I will go fairly quickly through it, but I hope at the end of my 10 minutes you'll get an appreciation of what White Rock is, the assets that we have, and I guess the opportunities for an investor in the assets that we have in the commodities and the jurisdictions. As with everyone else, the normal disclaimer, we're ASX listed, so we have obligations in that regard. So what are we? We are a small ASX listed company, market cap of about $10 million with two projects. In two first world jurisdictions, New South Wales, Australia, and Alaska, Canada. Alaska, the US, I should say, sorry. The commodities, New South Wales is a gold and silver project, and the project in Alaska is a zinc, silver, lead, gold, copper VMS project. On a combined basis, if you wanted to get a feel for what that meant, it's about the equivalent of 3.7 million ounces of gold. Our key project and our focus for this year was in Alaska, our VMS project, a maiden JORC resource only done last year with a grade of just under 13% zinc equivalent, put it in the top quartile of undeveloped zinc projects in the world. We raised $5 million during the year. We had a team of 20 on the ground. We did 4,000 metres of drilling. We had 3 reconnaissance crews. We made a virgin discovery. We proved that the 2 existing deposits are open, down, dip and along strike. And in doing that, attracted the interest of ASX-listed Sandfire, a $1 billion company, and they're now a 12% shareholder with an option to enter a joint venture where they have to spend $20 million before they can earn even 51%. And given that we paid $1 million in paper for this project, we think that's a pretty good deal for our shareholders and certainly going forward as they use their balance sheet on our project. But we also have a well-advanced gold and silver project in northern New South Wales on a mining lease with JORC resource. It's got a JORC reserve. It's got approvals ahead of it, and we're looking for a joint venture partner or even a possible asset sale. So if there is anyone in the room that's interested in maybe being part of a gold and silver play, an advanced stage in Australia, please come and see me afterwards. I won't be the last one that ever says we're undervalued compared to our peers, and I also won't be the last one to say that we do have a good board, notwithstanding I'm on it as well. So northern New South Wales is our Mount Carrington Gold and Silver project with its resource and its reserve. It's 2 hours inland from Byron Bay for those that know northern New South Wales, so a nice part of the world. We don't have to build airstrips and camps. We're within an hour from a town of 10,000 people. We've got state power onto site. It's got a tails dam, water dam. The 2 gold pits are pre-stripped, and I'll come back to that. And then the exciting Red Mountain VMS project, polymetallic, that we picked up only 2 years ago. Maiden JORC resource, as I mentioned, put it up there, and we're equal with any other ASX zinc player on the market in terms of asset quality. And then when you look at our small market cap, I think there's a compelling argument if you're like a play in zinc and certainly precious metals. And Alaska's certainly getting a bit of attention. South 32 are in Alaska with Trilogy, who are here. We've got Evolution in Alaska with Alan Kelly's vehicle, and many people may have been aware that Northern Star, which is one of the darlings of the Australian gold industry, acquired the Pogo gold mine off Sumitomo only recently. So a lot of what we've been saying about Alaska, I think, is finally starting to be validated by the interest there. It's less than 1 million people in the whole state, highly prospective. Yes, there is a winter, infrastructure, but I think the opportunities are significant, and I think there's a disproportionate number of Tier 1 projects already there. Pebble Project, the world's largest zinc miners in Alaska, run by Teck. The 39 million ounce Donlin Project, which is Barrick and Nova Gold. And just a few examples of what Alaska could offer. Our corporate structure, we've got a few shares on issue. It's a fairly common small junior challenge. Certainly we've been listed since 2010. No debt, $2.5 million in the bank. Some really good shareholders, Sandfire, High Net Worth in Avalon, Cartesian are a $2 billion private equity group, and then another couple of high net worths, and then we've got the Zijin Sprott, so the Gold Mountain asset management guys are here as well, and the two projects that I mentioned. So what are we? We've got a mix of gold. We've actually, between the two projects in JORC, got the equivalent. We've got 600,000 ounces of gold. We've got 70 million ounces of silver. We've got the equivalent of 1.5 billion pounds of zinc and about 500 million pounds of lead. So multi-commodity, I think, is a good de-risking proposal to an investor, and in two really good jurisdictions. So the Red Mountain project, bubble size shows the metal content, and you want to be in the top right hand corner in terms of grade. So before we even drilled, we're already up there with some of the better zinc players on the ASX. You know, we're as good as Red River, so Thalanga, Heron in New South Wales, better grades than New Century, and I think maybe the market's out on whether that'll succeed. And of course the thing in Algeria is big, but not the grade. And I'm a mining engineer, and I would certainly support the argument that grade is king. Certainly protects you on the downside when commodity prices can be a bit volatile. The grade, as I said, put us in the top quartile of undeveloped zinc projects in the world. As I said, I'm not the last to say that we're undervalued, but compared to our peers, and even if we're half right, you'd expect some movement to the left. And you can see where our grade sits compared to our peers, which I think is a tremendous asset. And given that we've only just finished our first season on the ground ourselves, I think we've got it all before us to add to this project. VMSs come in camps, come in clusters, and geology proves that, and I think we're out proving that as well. So we're in central Alaska, nicely located. We're surrounded on three sides by all-weather road. Fairbanks is the second largest city in Alaska. It's an 80-kilometre road that will need to be built. We're a half-hour chopper or half-hour Cessna flight. So, you know, we're not in the northern Arctic. We're not on salmon fishery lands, which are some of the perceptions of Alaska. And a Fraser Institute top 10, I think, is a significant advantage as well. Notwithstanding what you might think of Donald Trump, he certainly unlocked a lot of the congestion and log jamming in the EPA approvals process, and I think you see that if you follow the Pebble project in Alaska as well. So when we acquired the project, it had drilling done in the 1990s, but not since. 15 square kilometres. We got a hold of the public domain geophysics and geochem, used those two known deposits, found 30 similar lookalike targets, expanded our footprint out to 140 square k's. So we've got two known deposits open along strike and down dip that we're drilling. We've got 30 similar targets, and these things do come in clusters. This is an example of one of the deposits open along strike and in places down dip, and some spectacular grades that we achieved this year, you know, over 40% zinc equivalent. You can see some of the zinc grades themselves, you know, 19% zinc, 1,400 grams a tonne silver. So we were very pleased with the 4,000 metre drilling program that we did, and it's open at depth. We also made a virgin discovery, some kilometres from the two known deposits, and these things do come in clusters. Rock chip samples up to 18% zinc we drilled. While fairly narrow, 1.4, 1.8 metres, you can see the grade, 17% zinc, significant silver and lead. So we think we're onto something pretty special here, to the degree that it's attracted Sandfire onto our register. We've also got the Mount Carrington Gold and Silver Project in northern New South Wales, 2 gold pits on the bottom left pre-strip, Tails Dam, JORC Resource, JORC Reserve, metallurgy, OPEX, CAPEX, design. We're looking for a partner to help us advance that. It's less than 3 years from production. It's a less than 2-year payback once in production. It's a $400 an ounce margin, and very solid, very honest project, generating cash. But as I said, it's got a 12-month approval process ahead of it. Again, if you just looked at it on a gold basis, we're undervalued compared to our gold peers. Again, if we're only half right, hopefully we would move some way along that left-hand axis. That's just an aerial of the project. So mining lease, it's had past mining. It's got $20 million of infrastructure we don't have to spend. JORC Resource, as I said, reserve, and the environmental approvals process. We've got 180 square kilometre exploration potential, so we could put a drill rig on that tomorrow. This resource is informed by 100,000 metres of drilling and 2,000 drill holes, so it's well known, well understood, still with significant exploration upside, and silver to follow. Board, 4 of us are mining engineers, a little bit unusual. We've got the ex-MD of Newcrest on our board. You can have a look at that, but all with very good experience wanting to develop a business. So develop Red Mountain, progress Mount Carrington, and we're also looking for other M&A opportunities. If you have a look at our valuations compared to other independent valuations, you can see that we're well under even the nearest, and I think that's the opportunity for an investor to get into White Rock and its story now. And there are the reasons: exposure to zinc, good exploration upside, jurisdiction spread, good management team, and a gold and silver project in New South Wales. Thank you very much.